So for those of you who don't know, or maybe you're new to my channel, I am a huge geek. And I'm proud of it. I'm confident in my interests and likes and my passions. I'm sure you've seen my background of my videos if you've been a subscriber of mine for any amount of time. I've had my background, my walls consistently change. I've had comic books hanging up there of Wolverine, Deadpool, Hulk, Cable, Gambit, on and on and on. I'm a very big geek and I am proud of who I am. But this video is more about you, my subscribers, my viewers, my reptiles who are watching me right now. And maybe you have some geek interests. Maybe you love the geek culture. Maybe you love cosplaying. Maybe you love comic books. Maybe you love Star Wars. Maybe you love Adventure Time. Maybe you love Pokemon. This video is for you. One of the things that I've noticed being a geek is that there seems to be a lot of judgment and mockery of people who are outside of the geek culture, but also from people within the geek culture, and that's kind of what I want to address today. So maybe you're a geek, or you're someone wanting to get into the geek culture and, you know, just grow and immerse your mind into comic books, video games, anime, whatever it be, and you're starting to learn, starting to grow as an individual and expand your interests. And then a fellow geek comes along and they ask you, so, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? And you say to them, I've never seen Star Wars. And they look at you and they're like, oh my god, you've never seen Star Wars? And you like Adventure Time? You're not a real geek. You're not a real nerd. You can't be a great geek or a nerd if you've never seen Star Wars. What is wrong with you? How can you have never seen Star Wars? And then they go on like this kind of rant tangent and they kind of put down the person for not having seen Star Wars before. And maybe you're one of those type of people. Maybe you're one of those people who likes to really get into people's faces if they haven't been exposed to a certain thing. I, for example, have never seen, ready for it? Doctor Who. I have never watched Doctor Who. I've had people get shocked that I consider myself a geek, and I've had people tell me that I, Daniel Sulzbach, am not a geek because I've never seen an episode of Doctor Who. And my response to that is, rather than criticize me or mock me or put me down for never seeing Doctor Who, how about you take the effort to expose me to Doctor Who? Tell me why I should watch it. Tell me the interest and what captivates you for why you have a passion for Doctor Who. See, that's the thing. You shouldn't put someone down if they've never been exposed to something. Because I remember quite a few months ago, I met this awesome girl, and she has a boyfriend now, but she was single at the time, and one of her favorite characters was the Incredible Hulk. And I asked her about her comics, and she says she loves comic books, and, you know, we started off great. And she said she had never seen, I asked her if she had seen the movie The Avengers, and she said no. So rather than me attack her and put her down for never seeing The Avengers, I said, you've never seen The Avengers? You're coming over, I'll pick you up, I'll take you to my house, I will cook you dinner, and we will sit down and we will watch The Avengers together. And that is exactly what we did. And for me, I was not only excited, but I was so passionate about exposing her to The Avengers because she had never seen it before. And for me, like, if a girl that I met had never seen Star Wars and she was into, you know, the geek culture and wanted to get into it, I would so jump on that opportunity to expose her to Star Wars. I would sit down with her for all 6 movies, and I would cook her food or buy pizza or whatever, and we would sit and watch all of them. Because as a fellow geek, there is nothing more exciting and awesome than exposing someone to something that they've never been exposed to. And that's, I think, the attitude a lot of people should have when accepting people into the geek culture. You shouldn't be judgmental of those who haven't seen Star Wars, or seen Adventure Time, or seen Doctor Who. Because let's be honest, you may be a geek, I may be a geek, but we do not know everything. I know there are certain geeks out there who think that they have all the geek knowledge about everything, but you don't. We don't. I don't. I'm very limited on a lot of things within anime. I'm not very educated in the area of anime. I only watch a few anime shows. I'm a Star Wars fanatic, but someone who isn't really into Star Trek, someone could totally outbeat me in Star Trek trivia, and I have no problem with that. And I'm not going to try to argue and bicker and you know, go fist and fist and try to argue with people that I'm smarter than them and I'm a better geek than them. No. To me, being a geek isn't about being better. It's about sharing a community of interests. And I want to read you a quote that I posted on my Facebook. And I heard this at Comic-Con, but I don't know who said it. Someone said this at Emerald City Comic-Con, and it said, "Being a geek isn't about the stuff we love. It's about how we love it." And I don't mean that sexually. And it's so true, though. Being a geek isn't about the stuff we love. It's about how much we love it. I love Star Wars. I have a passion for Star Wars. And I love it. I draw it. I collect the comics. I got comics signed at Emerald City Comic-Con of Star Wars. And it's about passion. And if you're a geek or you're someone who wants to get into the geek culture, find someone who is not going to criticize you or judge you for being who you are. Because that's something that I see a lot, even within the geek culture. But going outside of the geek culture, there's a lot of people who see people like myself who cosplay and dress up as Deadpool, and they're like, "What is wrong with you? You're really strange." And I have no problem with that because they don't understand my passions. They don't understand my likes and interests. And the most important thing is for you to be who you are and don't worry about judgment from other people within or outside of the geek culture. Because the moment you start to focus on their judgments and what they have to say to you is the moment that you give up being who you are as a fellow geek, because you're more concerned about what they think of you and how they define you rather than you defining yourself. And as a fellow geek, I think that is one of the most important things for anyone to realize, male or female, is that you define who you are, not other people, by your passion, interests, and likes. If you're a guy or girl watching this video right now, if you love video games, play video games. If you love cosplaying, cosplay. If you love Batman, be Batman. I'm Batman. Whatever it is you want to be it. Be you. And don't worry about what other people think about you. But this video ultimately boils down to one main thing. Be you, be yourself, and don't be ashamed to unleash your geekiness to the world and embrace your passion, whatever that passion is. Don't let people interfere with your desires and likes. Because once you do, your desires and likes are no longer your desires and likes, but rather what other people think of you. And when that happens, you're not being you. You're trying to please others. And you will be disappointed, you will be hurt, you'll be mocked and ridiculed even more when you try to conform to what other people want you to be. Be different, be weird, but be yourself, and don't be normal. That's my advice. Thanks for watching, guys.